myself, and I. It's me, myself, and I. Me, myself, and I. It's me, myself, and I.
Listening to another exciting episode of me, myself, and I. Episode Cien uno. You're listening to episode 101. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. 101. I'll say it one more time. 101. 101. What's your temperature? It's 101. How many episodes do you have? I now have 101. You're listening to 101. One. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. 101 episodes. And I'm so glad. First of all, thank you everyone for listening to the 100th episode. It truly means a lot. I finally got that. I finally reached the hump. You know, with podcasting, it's always a big celebration with your 100th episode. And you wanted to make it big, but with COVID-19 and quarantine, you can only do so much. So everyone that enjoyed episode 100, I'm glad. If you haven't listened to it, go ahead and listen to it. But also, I want to give a big shout out to the wonderful people of KNYO 107.7 FM Fort Bragg. That's right, Fort Bragg. I hope you're listening. I hope you're doing well. Hang in there. Stay strong. Okay? Mike Betancourt's here. Me, Myself, and I podcast is here. We're here to help each other out. If you haven't realized that. I know you're bored. I know you're quarantined. And I know this is a pandemic, but damn it, the show must go on. Whoops. A little bit loud. A little bit loud. There we go. And the show will go on, and it will continue. But you know what? People liked the prank call last episode. If you want me, remember, Fort Bragg and everyone else that's listening to me, myself, and I, if you want me to, well, you can't prank call your boss because you guys are all working from home. But if you have a relative or someone that you know that deserves to be prank called, just because you're quarantined doesn't mean you're innocent, okay? Just remember that, ladies and gentlemen. There are a lot of assholes out there. There's a lot of terrible people out there that are not good people. And they're being quarantined, and everyone's, you know, during this whole pandemic and all that wonderful stuff, not wonderful, but during this pandemic, what's the number one thing? Let's all get in this together. Yeah, that's great, but guess what? The terrible people, the horrible people, they're still quarantined. They haven't learned anything from being quarantined, just being a bad person, even worse. That makes sense. I think it does. According to my podcast, it does. Because whatever I say makes sense, because I'm right. But yeah, if you have someone that you want me to prank call that's not a good person, that hasn't learned, that hasn't changed during this quarantine, or hasn't seen themselves, then I suggest you email me at mmipodcast19@gmail.com. Is that the same thing as COVID-19? No, because me, myself, and I was here before COVID-19. So, again, email me at mmipodcast19@gmail.com. Yeah! And I hear it all over the news, ladies and gentlemen. I hear it all the time. And I know you hear it all the time. And what do you hear? Hang in there, folks. We're #alone. Together. Hang in there. We're going to get out of this. Hang in there. I know we are. Okay? We're human beings. This was supposed to happen to flip everything upside down. Okay? I get it. What I don't get and what I don't like is that there's still crappy people out there. Just because you're going through a pandemic doesn't give you the right to be disrespectful to people. It doesn't. Doesn't give you the right to be disrespectful to people, and it doesn't give you the right to drive like an idiot when you're going grocery shopping. Now, whenever I go grocery shopping for my family, it feels that I'm about to go to the Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome or Fury Road if you want to be updated. That's what it feels like. Do you guys remember the video game Twisted Metal? If you don't remember the video game Twisted Metal, look it up. You can look it up. That's exactly what it feels like. It just feels like a demolition derby. Because people do not know how to freaking drive. God, I wanted to say the F word so bad, but I can't because I'm on the radio technically, kind of, sort of. Not getting paid for it, but it doesn't matter. But that's what it feels like. I'm driving. I'm respecting the law. I'm 6 feet apart from people. And whenever I get to the grocery store, it's a bunch of ants that are driving. I gotta get my groceries. I need toilet paper. I need this. I need that. I need this. Just, it's not as, I know. When you drive to the grocery store, it's always like that. It's always chaotic. And everyone's a little bit more sensitive nowadays because of this coronavirus. I get that. And you know what? I am doing my best. Me, myself and I, podcast, the host, Mike Bencourt, is doing his best to be very patient. I'm not picking fights with anybody. If people don't know how to shop. Is it that difficult to go down an aisle, stay 6 feet away from someone, and shop? Is it that difficult? I don't understand what part of 6 feet you don't understand. I'll give you an example. I was at the grocery store today. That's why I'm ranting about it. But I was at the grocery store. As soon as I got into the parking lot. I was in the Speedway. I prayed. I said, God, give me patience. I go in the grocery store. People are running around like maniacs. Where's this, that, and the what do we I don't know what to do. What do we do? Just because it's a pandemic doesn't mean you need to panic. Okay? You gotta realize that. Just because it's a pandemic doesn't mean you need to panic. You don't. And I understand people are freaking out and just going batshit crazy when they're shopping. But that's not going to get you out of the grocery store in an orderly fashion. It's not. And I got to deal with you when I go in there. Just driving around the carts, freaking out. There's no toilet paper. There's no. Where's the food? What do you mean you don't have any burritos? I saw someone today flip out over frozen burritos, yelling, berating the lady that works at the grocery store. This poor worker that works there. This essential person right now. This woman is berating her. What do you mean you don't have any frozen burritos? I need my... Ma'am, all we have, another shipment comes in Wednesday. We have chimichangas. I don't want a chimichanga! I want a burrito! I'm sorry, ma'am. You're going to have to wait till Wednesday. We don't have anything right now. This is the best of what we have. I want my burrito. I don't want a chimichanga. That's when you know when you I'm trying my best not to curse. That's when you know you live in a first world. When someone is crying about a burrito versus a chimichanga during a pandemic. I want my burrito! Chimichanga, we have that. No, I don't want a chimichanga. I want a burrito. Sorry, ma'am. COVID-19 has everything flipped upside down. There's nothing we can do. We have another shipment coming in on Wednesday. If you want to come in, you want to call on Wednesday? I want my burrito now! I'm like, lady, go get some booze on aisle 6. For real, there's plenty of booze and there's plenty of ice cream. Okay? If you are worried about that, then you need to... I don't know. I don't know, people. I want to hear your pandemic stories. I hope your patience is doing well. I hope you're doing your best, hanging in there with your patients. I know you're going crazy with your family, but don't. Okay? That is the last line of defense. Do not go crazy with your family. I know everyone's going stir crazy because they're not used to their kids being home all the time and helping them out with their homework and the virus. I get it. I'm with you. We're all in this together. I get it. Okay? If your kids are going crazy, give them chores. You have all the time in the world to give them detailed chores to do. And I'm talking detailed. Dusting. Cleaning the windows. How about cleaning the gutters? How about you mow the lawn with scissors? You got all day. They're not going anywhere. All sports are canceled. They can't go anywhere. Use this to your benefit. Use it to your benefit. I'm talking to the parents right now. Use this quarantine to your benefit. So if you're going crazy and they're going nuts and they don't know how to be bored, then use it to your benefit. Detailed chores. See those baseboards? They need to be painted. Where? Look closer. Don't fall apart, parents. Do not fall apart. If you're with your kids all day, don't fall apart. Figure it out. Do not lose your cool, because when the house breaks down, everything else breaks down. So when you go to the grocery store and you start crying over burritos and you have chimichangas right there for you, right there, I bet you that woman is freaking out when she goes home. They don't have any burritos. I hate you, Mom. You don't have any burritos. No 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 burritos. That household is chaotic. They're not praying. They're not meditating. They're not working out. They're not reading books. They're probably hating each other just being on the screen. They probably just hate each other in general. Don't be like that woman. Okay? Keep this household strong. Keep that family dynamics strong together. Okay? This is the worst week of the coronavirus. Do not get sick and do not fall apart. Okay, we need to get this. We need to get through this. And I'm not here to be all, hey, I'm gonna move on. I saw the best meme today, though. It was the funniest meme I saw today, and I needed it, and I'm sure you do. The meme was this. It says, when churches and casinos agree to not go outside. Oh my God, I said it wrong. Hold on. Let me look it up. Okay, here we go. It says, if you think COVID-19 is fake, when churches and casinos agree that they are shutting down, what does that tell you? Heaven and hell agree that this is not fake. That's so true. So true. And I cannot believe there's this church in Lodi. I just saw the news today. The pastor is still having service. He's going against all the rules just to have service. Well, I don't like this totalitarian dictatorship. We're still going to have service. No, dude, you are not protecting your flock. You are not protecting your congregation. You think this is a militaristic state government, everything that Alex Jones has preached about, you think this is it right now. We are quarantined because of the virus. If you truly love God, you will tell your congregation to stay home. If you truly love the faith, if you truly love the Holy Bible, the spirituality, and God, and everything that's holy, and this is Holy Week, Sunday's Easter. If you truly believe in that, if you truly believe and love God and show that, then you need to not have church. Have a virtual church. Okay? This is not something to fight against right now. Didn't Jesus tell you to turn the other cheek? Didn't God teach you that? You know what it is? Excuse me. You know what it is? I'll tell you what it is. It's ego. The pastor is full of ego. This pastor in Lodi that continues to have his church fully functional and allowing his congregation to have church every single Sunday is not about faith. It is not about the spirituality that God's going to save us from this COVID-19. God is saving us because everyone's saying stay indoors. If they're saying stay indoors, stay indoors. This is ego. That's all it is. And that is pride. And that is a deadly sin. Is it not, Pastor? I think so. And I rest my case. So stay indoors. Don't go to church. Okay? Don't go to the casinos. Don't go anywhere. Okay? Especially this week. I know I don't want to talk about COVID-19, but we have to talk about COVID-19 because COVID-19 is all about us right now. So churches, if you love your congregation, don't go to church. Pray for them. Go door to door to. How about this? If you truly love your congregation, especially the pastor in Lodi, I gotta find that pastor's name. I gotta find his name. Pastor Lodi. I'm looking. Pastor arrested. Yeah, he was arrested. Stupid. So dumb. Why would you do this? Why? Because you what's his name? Pastor in church in Central California is holding services that has no plans to stop despite stay-at-home order issued by the governor. We're going to meet as often as we can. We believe that this is rights that is. We believe that this right is protected by the First Amendment and should be considered essential. No, it's not. It is not essential. Going to church is not essential. It's not. It's a building with crowded people, and we need to be away from crowded people right now. And you're talking to a preacher's kid. I'm not anti-God. I am not anti-religion. I am not anti-church. But this is stupid. This is ego. This is egotistical and stupid what this pastor's doing. He's putting people's lives in danger. If you truly love your congregation, why don't you find out where each of them live and hold service right in front of their doorstep? How about that? How about you take your happy ass, I can't believe I said that to a pastor. Whatever. God forgives me. How about you take your, why don't you do that? Why don't you go door to door to all of your congregation, drive around all over town, find out where each of your members live, and hold service by their doorstep. Pray for the household. Pray for them to get through this. Just because your church is shut down doesn't mean that God in you is shut down. But you're being egotistical. What's his name? What's this pastor's name? Pastor John Duncan is unapologetic about that, despite legal orders. Oh my God. Lord, why do you have these people represent you? Seriously. Why do you have a church represent you? Why do you have this pastor representing you? This is not what God wants. God wants us to be together. Well, just forget it. This is This is another thing. Okay, same thing with the USS Theodore Roosevelt. By the way, I'm sure you've heard the story about the USS Theodore Roosevelt, how the captain sent orders or sent letters saying that my ship is quarantined, we need to get these people off, and they didn't listen, so he kept going above the chain of command. I'm looking at my medals right now, right in front of me, the USS Theodore Roosevelt. I was a part of that ship from 99 to 04. I was on that ship. So that ship has holds dear to my heart. CVN 71. And people are getting upset about this captain for leaking a story and don't want to frighten people. Even President Trump is saying that. Well, he doesn't want to frighten people. We shouldn't be doing it. We need to keep this locked down. No, 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 no! The captain is doing exactly what he's supposed to do as the captain of a ship. The captain goes against all orders if his sailors are in jeopardy. Haven't you ever seen or heard the expression, the captain goes down with his ship? So if the captain is going to go down with his ship, doesn't that mean he's going to go against all regulations to save his sailors? He did exactly what was right for his sailors. He did exactly what was right as a human being. He didn't hold church and say, "Oh well, we're quarantined. If we're quarantined, let's just have church right now because I'm going against all rules." No, he said, "People are quarantined. We need to get these people off the ship and help them," because he knew that was right. The safety of these people, of these sailors, was right. And what happens? He gets relieved from his duties. You know why President Trump is upset? You know why the Secretary of the Navy is upset? Because he went against everything, and that's public now. So that's going to make everyone else go against the grain, which you should, especially if it's right for you. Go against the grain. Don't listen to the government, especially our president that dropped the ball. You know what? This was President Trump's one and only shot to change and become a great president. Could you imagine if Trump handled this pandemic differently? If he was ahead of schedule, didn't drop the ball, didn't say it's going to be fine, it's going to blow away. Could you imagine? But again, it boils down to ego. That's what it boils down to. It boils down to ego. See, the pastor and Trump are the exact same person. Their ego. Trump is not going to admit that he's wrong. He's not going to admit that he dropped the ball. And this pastor is not going to admit that what he's doing is a wrong thing, putting people's lives in danger. This captain, Captain Crozier, he was right. Watch him be an atheist and a Democrat. Oh, my goodness. That's what's missing nowadays. Loyalty. Loyalty is missing nowadays, and for the captain showing loyalty to his crew, he gets fired from that. Oh wait, whatever. You're going to heaven in my book. I still think you are. Whatever. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care about terrible people anymore. I'm not going to complain. I'm not complaining about Trump. I'm just proving the factors of what is right and wrong. But I'm not going to sit here and I had burritos. I don't want a chimichanga. I think I'm gonna write that down. The title of this is Burritos versus Chimichanga. There we go. You hear it? I'm writing it down. I wrote it down. Done. All right, I'm done with the bad stuff because you know what? Now it's time for good. That's right. It is time for good news. I'm sick and tired of all the bad stuff in the world, but now it's time to dedicate good news. And the good news for today is, I'm sure you've heard of it already, but Bill Gates is now building factories to produce 7 of the most promising COVID vaccines. That's right. He and his wife have announced that his foundations are accelerating the COVID response efforts, building factories for all 7 of the most promising vaccine currently in development. And this list goes on and on what he does. This article, I don't want to butcher it because it's a well-written article and my reading sucks. But it's okay. He says to bring the disease to an end, we'll need a safe and effective vaccine. If we do everything right, we could have one in less than 18 months. About the fastest vaccine has ever been developed. And it just talks about what is right and what is wrong. And he also pledged $100 million. This is just the beginning, folks. See? We need to be more like Mr. Gates. You see what he did there? He could have easily not do this. He could have easily found a way to cure him and his family first. He could have easily created a biodome and circulate wonderful air inside, but no. He's not taking his stocks out of the market. He's not avoiding people. He's not being like a pastor and putting people in harm's way. He's not being like Trump. He's not being like that lady that wants burritos and chimichangas. And he's especially not acting like these other celebrities that have millions and millions and millions of dollars. Hundreds of millions of dollars. You know what I'm talking about. Instead of Bill Gates singing, "Imagine all the people." Imagine if everyone acted like Bill Gates and put money forward to find a vaccine. God forbid. That was a mic drop, but I dropped a pen. Just didn't want to let you know. So, ladies and gentlemen, there is good news. There is hope. And, we're going to get through this cycle. And, unfortunately, the COVID-19 will come back because it's just like the flu, if not worse. Once it dies down, we have the summer. And then when it comes back in winter, you better get your goddamn shots. And I said goddamn because it deserves it. Get your vaccine. Don't be, I don't believe in vaccine. I don't believe in it. Well, guess what? COVID-19 is all over the world, okay? So get your vaccine. Thank you, Mr. Gates, for putting ego aside and helping humanity. I thank you. Me, myself, and I thank you, and we appreciate it very much. So, all right, folks, I'm going to get going, but thank you so much for listening to this podcast. We're getting through this together, okay? And I pray each and every one of you stay strong during this week. This is the worst week. We need to not be outside and away from a crowd of people. So please be safe, okay? If you got to go outside, do something. But remember, don't take it out on your family, okay? If you're quarantined with your family, don't go crazy on them, okay? It's COVID-19's fault. It's not your family's fault, okay? So please, hang tight, stay strong, and eat a burrito and a chimichanga. Boom, full circle. Oh! All right, folks, I'm going to get out of here. But before we go, please, ladies and gentlemen, please tell everyone to subscribe to this podcast. It really means a lot to me if you subscribe to this podcast, because the more subscribers I have, the more episodes I have, and the more stuff I want to do for this podcast. What do you mean, Mike? Well, if I have more listeners, then I have more stuff to provide for you. Like one thing, for example, I would love to start doing 1-hour shows. That's fun. Okay, I got so many ideas, but I can't do this alone. I need the subscribers. I need the listeners. So please, tell your family, tell your friends to listen to this podcast right now, okay? You mean a lot. And it is also
It's me, myself, and I.
Are you ready?
Myself, and I.
I said, are you
It's me, myself,
ready?
and I.
I think you are. You like a burrito or a chimichanga? Which one? I'll tell you which one you have. You have both. And if you have both, you need some what? What do you need? Huh? What do you need? You need some salsa! 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 Salsa!